Hey there, hope all is well. Today is the very first episode of Silver Doctor's What's Hot in the News. And so my name is Mike, a new member at the team over at silverdoctors.com. So today I'm going to just share with you a couple of the latest and hottest news stories. And more importantly, all the articles I'm going to cover briefly can be found beneath this video here in the video description. More importantly, my job is just to shine some light on these subject matters here, get you thinking outside the box a little bit. So without wasting any time, let's get into today's news. So what's the hottest subject of the day? And it has to be Julian Assange being escorted away from the Ecuadorian embassy over in the UK. And so here's a video here of him being dragged out and him chanting some words. But more importantly, this article here comes from theguardian.com. And as you see the title of it, it says, Julian Assange, U.S. Justice Department says he faces 5 years in jail. And these are some live updates here. And so as always, you can find more information in regards to this article here beneath this video. But more importantly, I'll just scan through the surface, let you know what's happening on the surface. And so I would encourage you to take a minute, watch this 1 minute video here. But as I scroll down here, it looks to be like a timeline of events that has occurred. And then more importantly, if you scroll down to the very bottom of this, it gives you a more in-depth idea as to what's actually going on at this current moment. And so it has a couple people commenting on Twitter and whatnot. We have some global leaders sharing their thoughts on their disapproval of UK going in there and grabbing them out of there. So, and this is as of an hour ago, it says what we know so far. It says Julian Assange has been found guilty of breaching bail in 2012 after being arrested at the Ecuadorian embassy in London on Thursday. It says the United States has requested an extradition of Assange and charged him with involvement in the computer hacking with the Chelsea Manning. It says the U.S. Justice Department said Assange faces up to 5 years in jail if convicted. Theresa May welcomed Assange's arrest, saying it, quote, no one is above the law. Scroll on a bit more, it says the president of Ecuador, Lenin Moreno, said he secured guarantees from the UK that Assange would not face the death penalty or torture. Scroll on a little bit more, it says Kremlin spokesman said Moscow hoped that Assange's rights would not be violated. And it says the arrest was welcomed by the UK government. Assange supporters have condemned the arrest. And so here's some more information here if you're interested in finding out more of some up-to-date news in regards to that. But the question from this point on is, what will happen with Julian Assange? And so will this be the first of many cases, and will there be others to follow, such as the possible move to go after Eric Snowden, who's also lumped in this category as being a whistleblower as well as a possible traitor against the United States of America? But more information for this article here can be found down below if you're interested for yourself. Next article here is an opinion piece from marketwatch.com, and this is something that caught my eye, so I definitely thought I would share it. It says a tragedy is unfolding in the stock market that would worry both bulls and bears. And so more importantly, if you want to find out the full scoop, feel free to read more for yourself. I'll scan through the surface briefly. But it says, when this rally runs out of steam, the ensuing crash could topple the economy. So here you have it so like it's on fire. And so to give you an idea what's going on here, it says, in the U.S. stock market, it's all going to end badly. Even some ardent bulls would freely admit to it. The question is how, when, and where. That is a multi-trillion-dollar question worth considering. It says, frankly, a tragedy is unfolding and discerning eyes can see it. Since the December lows, the stock market has taken the descriptive route higher, salivating at the prospect of dovish central banks once again levitating asset prices higher. It says, but investors may sooner or later might learn the hard way that this sudden capitulation by central bankers is not a positive sign, but rather a sign of desperation. Scroll down some more, gives you an idea of how high the balance sheets of the central banks currently are at this current moment with this little slight dip here. It says the capitulation is as complete as it is global. 10 years after the financial crisis, there is not a single central bank on the planet that has an exit plan. So great is the fear of the falling markets and a slowing economy that the grand central bank experiment has ended in utter failure. And so here we have more of the results of monetary policy, with the ECB balance sheet also a lot higher than it was prior to the Great Recession. And more importantly, the ECB main rate here are also at all-time lows. So if you scroll on a little bit further, you have a couple other subheadings here. We have Trump's dangerous game. Scroll down even further, we have a couple charts here showing. And then we have chasing performance and so forth. So if you're interested in finding out more, feel free to scroll down below for yourself. Next article here is out of Reuters, and it says how to say the R word. Bank executives grapple with the recession talk. And give you an idea what's going on here, it says executives at the largest U.S. banks are grappling with how to best talk about the slowing economy and its impact on their businesses as they enter earnings seasons. Scroll on a bit more, it says a particular concern is how to deal with the word recession, which has become all but verboten as U.S. gross domestic product growth has decelerated. So although some economists are predicting a downturn, A big bank executive doing so can become a self-fulfilling prophecy. On the other hand, a top banker dismissing recession worries to calm worries could be seen as uninformed or dishonest. It says when asked to name the single biggest threat to the U.S. economy as a congressional hearing on Tuesday, Citigroup Incorporated's chief executive officer Michael Colbert answered, quote, "Our ability to talk ourselves into the next recession." So if you're interested in finding out more about the hearings and some more of the thoughts of the banking executives, feel free to read more of this article here. But yet we all know when it comes to the word recession and slowdown, they're interconnected. And right now we're in the middle of that. So I'm not quite sure why it's so hard to say the R word, but yet the recession is underway, in my opinion. So these are a couple articles I thought worthy of mentioning to you on what's hot in the news today. So more importantly, from everything from Julian Assange being dragged out of the embassy, concerns over the stock market being overinflated and possibly about to correct pretty soon. And then we have this last article here in regards to a recession based upon the whole banking executives giving their testimony before the committee. But more importantly, I think these are some topics that are worthy of keeping an eye on just because they paint a good picture as to where our economy is currently at in regards to the fear of a global slowdown that would ultimately lead to a recession, some of the ripple effects that will take place in regards to that. And that plays into more of the reason why it's important to make sure you have some precious metals in their possession and not be solely dependent upon mainstream stories and the spinoff they try to give us to make us seem like everything is okay. But yeah, these are a couple of hot topics in the news. Thought I would share them with you. More importantly, take time below. Let me know your thoughts. And also, if you come across any news story that's worthy of talking about, definitely put them in the comment section below. I would love to shine some light on them and let the whole community here know at silverdoctors.com. Other than that, have a great day. Look forward to bringing more news updates. Thanks.